Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Talk Football Live. I've got my regular co-host here with me, Charles. We're missing Bjorn tonight. Bjorn is down with a cold. Wish you speedy recovery.
Yep.
Um, and we have a Spurs fan with us today. How's it going, Reuben?
It's going good, man. I appreciate you guys having me. Charles, before we started, you guys talked about talking sports, man. I talk sports 24/7 at work, and I work with mostly females, so it's hard. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm listening.
All right, we're here to give you an opportunity to let it all out.
Yep.
Right?
So
Yeah.
we have Ruben here with us because this weekend Chelsea is going to be facing off against Spurs, right? And so we want to, as we always do, get that fans' perspective, how fans are feeling ahead of the game. And that's going to be our main focus for today. We'll take predictions from the other games, but Spurs versus Chelsea is our focus for today. And if you guys have been keeping up with what's going on, you guys have seen the games that were, midweek. This is the busy period, so there were a lot of mid games. Everybody played during the week. This past game week,
Yep.
Chelsea played against Southampton, convincing 5-1 win.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs, on the other hand, faced up against Bournemouth and fell to a 2-0 loss. So we're going to be diving into that today a little bit, Ruben. We appreciate you show your face regardless,
I know, right?
Yeah.
tell us how you're feeling because what we've seen from Spurs this season is it's up and down, right? It's up and down. You lose to Ipswich, then you face off against
City.
City and you drop City 4-0, right? You beat Villa, but then you lose some other silly games. How are you feeling going into this fixture?
So I'll start off by one thing I don't like to ask. So I'm gonna bring up another sport just as a I watch a lot of NFL, and
Okay.
my Spurs. I I hate to say this because what I can compare him to when it comes to NFL is a team that I
Hmm.
hate so much, and I don't use that word hate lightly. Like if like I dislike, I compare him to the Dallas Cowboys because they show promise, right? They have the talent, and they give the fans we're like here, and then all of a sudden
It dropped.
drop. Like I don't. So good thing I was working
Mm,
today. Today's game, I would have been stressed. I I think I still would have been able to join the live, but I was if I would have watched it, I would have been a little bit more stressed. I had to keep score like looking at ESPN, my ESPN app. I'm like looking
gotcha.
at it's minute 60, 1-0. Okay, we can tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's minute 77. Really? Still 1-0? And just it just kept going like that. And then it got to the point where like it was every minute. Minute 78, really? 79, really? Like but I am feeling good about this weekend
Okay.
because of what you said, right?
Interesting.
We lose
Mm,
to the bottom top, like the in the bottom, and you're
hmm.
like, what? And then you go, and I felt good about. I wanted to join the other live with Manchester City
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I was gonna predict that. I'm not
Okay.
gonna say we're gonna beat you got Chelsea like we did City,
4-0.
but we
You're
have a
right.
chance to win the game because of we perform good against good teams. We
Yeah.
perform bad against bad teams. So
Mm,
the worst that can happen is a tie in my prediction, but I can see us winning 1-0 or 2-1. But in
okay.
the but in a very I don't know if you remember that game with Conte was our head coach,
Yeah.
and he
Right.
almost got into it with the other with Chelsea's. Like
Someone's
I
so
see it
Yeah.
being
With
that
Tuchel.
I see it. It was a very physical game.
yeah.
Hazard
Yeah.
almost fought against Kane, and that's the reason why I don't like Hazard. Like he's in Arsenal, our rivals, so I like him even less then. But I feel like it's gonna be a tight game
Mm.
because knowing our team, we do good against the good teams, or when you're expecting we're not gonna do good. Like nobody
Right.
expected us to win 4-0 against
City. Yeah.
Definitely not
City,
against City. Right.
Yep.
Right.
but that would have been my prediction. I would have predicted 2-0, not 4-0, but that would have been my prediction on
Mm,
that game because of how we lost to a bad team. We're gonna face off as against a giant pretty
Okay.
well.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that because I want to dive into Spurs a little bit more. But Chelsea,
Gotcha.
let me get your thoughts, right, Charles? You guys, you've been winning convincingly. Everything seems to be rosy for you guys now. I'm hearing a lot of chatter from Chelsea fans. You guys are confident.
We
You're
are
not
back.
quite claiming. You're not quite claiming you're going for the title. You still tell us you're rebuilding, but you guys are optimistic every time you play now. How are you feeling ahead of this Spurs game?
I'm feeling great, but I'm being careful. Although I'm surprised Reuben
Okay.
is saying he's confident. I didn't expect him to be confident. Yeah, you guys step up against big teams, but if we're going to look at what you did against City, it wasn't really much about you. It was much more about City. City was in a very, very weird position when you met them. Chelsea, on the other hand, we are in the opposite of a negative position. We are flying high. So I don't
Right.
expect it's going to be a tight game. And considering the way Spurs play, you guys play all attack, no defense. So, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
watched the Bournemouth game today, and Bournemouth should have beaten you like 3-0,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
I didn't watch,
So,
but I believe you.
yeah, they should have beaten you 3-0 because you guys are so open at the back. And I don't think Chelsea would not score. And I mean, Chelsea, I wouldn't say we have the best defense, but our defense is still way more disciplined than Spurs. Spurs' defense. So I'm predicting a win for Chelsea. Like you said, the worst that can happen is a draw. But I think in your case, the worst that can happen is a loss. I don't think for you it's a draw. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see where both of you are. You guys are converging towards the draw then, right?
No, I'm not.
Charles is
No, he's not.
I'm not. Let it be known. I'm saying we're getting a win. If things mess up and something happens badly, then we're gonna get a draw. I think
okay.
Reuben is thinking a draw is the worst, but I think based on what I saw with Bournemouth today, I don't see you guys winning the game.
I,
Okay. So Charles is feeling bullish as well.
Yeah, yeah, as usual. This is a London rivalry. You know, it's a London derby, so I need to feel that way.
and he's
So,
at Arsenal.
let me come back to you, Ruben, right?
Okay.
So Angie, I want to get your thoughts on what you feel about Angie, right? Because Angie plays all out attack. You know, he said he says things like, we're not going to spend time working so much on set pieces. He said, this is the principle. We're going to go, 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 go. And it's particularly even worse for you guys at the moment because you're dealing with injuries, right?
Yep.
Vicario is out, Romero is out, Van de Ven is out, right? So you're missing a key component of the defense, right? That holds up because what happens is your fullbacks tend to push up, the midfielders push up, the attackers, everybody's pushing up except really Vicario and maybe Romero and Van de Ven. And you're losing those three key players, right? And I think that showed today when you guys faced off against
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in terms of attack, right? Does this mean that you're susceptible to Chelsea? Because as we know, Chelsea have a lot of attacking talents. I think they're either the most scoring or second, in
No,
terms of
we are the
scoring.
highest 31
Right.
goals.
So they scored the most goals this season in the EPL.
Yeah.
That's the attack you're coming up against. How do you deal with the fact that Angie loves to attack? How do you counteract this Chelsea team?
So when he brought up the whole we attack and we're vulnerable. I've been talked about how our depth in the team we don't have.
Mm,
Like you see
mhm.
that, like our
Right.
like with our two center backs, Romero, like them two together in the center,
And Van de
we
Ven,
are
yeah.
one of the best, and it works in our favor. And
Hmm.
his attack, the way he plays,
Yeah.
works when we have those guys on the field.
Right.
And you can't just copy and paste and have two other guys in
Do
case they get hurt.
yeah.
So
Right.
at times I don't like how he play, I'm
That's up.
in for him. I'm more satisfied with him than we had Mourinho and Conte. I feel like Tottenham's not a club that needs
Hmm.
that coach that's like bigger than
Club.
not the club per se. I don't think anyone's bigger than the club,
Yeah.
but
Right.
they're up there. Like they've won Champions Leagues, and I feel like we're good where he's at with where we
Okay.
have. I just feel like we don't have the depth in the team, so he needs to adapt in changing it up when we don't have those players because he makes us vulnerable, especially Vicario being out. I don't trust our I don't trust Foster
Yeah.
at one bit. Like,
But Foster really saved you guys today, though.
no, he did. I
He
saw
did.
the
Yeah.
highlights, but you don't get that consistency. Vicario is weak on he gets manhandled, like right on set pieces.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's young, but he's young.
Physicality. Hmm.
Foster is getting old. He's like over 30 years old. So I don't trust in him to be consistent. As long as I don't even know how long Vicario is out for, to be honest with you. But he's gone enough that you'll be able to see. Like at
The
first, I was like, you know
difference.
what? If we're not focused on the Premier League and let's focus on one title,
Mm-hmm.
the Euro, like,
Hmm.
but we can't do that. I don't think we can with the style of play and the players we're missing. So it's like very difficult to like say I have faith. And the only reason why, because I had faith, but when he had our players healthy in
Right.
his style of play, and I don't want him to change his ways because sometimes players coaches get lost in trying to change it,
Hmm.
and then that's when they
Yeah.
get sacked.
Yeah.
That's when they get sacked,
Exactly.
and then
They don't stick to what they believe in.
they don't stick what to they believe in because they're listening to the media.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
like I watch a lot of Spurs, like I listen to a podcast of Spurs fans in the
Yeah.
UK, um, and a lot of them like there's a lot of them talk about we need to sack him, we need to sack him, we need to sack him. And there's one guy, he's like, bro, like, like if we bring in another coach, another manager, we got to change the play style again.
Yep. Good style.
Yep.
Like we got to start
Yep.
over from scratch. And I think just aim for at least one of the other titles for now,
Okay.
and try not to end so much in the bottom and the like. It's
The
tough
EPL.
with the injuries. It's tough,
Stuff.
but I wouldn't change. To answer your like how his style of game, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. So what would, just to pick on what you said, what would be your target for this season then? Because I think he said it as well that he typically wins something in his second season.
Yeah.
So what would be your target for this season? Which title or cup would you expect Tottenham to win?
Where we're excelling at the
Yeah.
Euro, like that's the one we're
Okay.
like we have what we don't we have more of a winning record than a loss. We have a draw with Roma, which sucks.
Yeah.
Like that one. So Tottenham is my main team. I have teams in
Right.
every league, and Roma is my team in Italy.
Okay.
So, but I wanted Tottenham to win.
Okay.
So, like, if anybody's facing my main team, then I want my main team
Yeah.
to win. But that's where I want the focus in because I feel like that gets you not only, well, it gets you.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Things have changed, but that
Hmm.
gets you into champions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The
It
winning
does.
it.
Yeah, it does.
It
Yeah,
So
if
does.
you
I
win
feel like
Europa.
winning that, forget about the season Premier League where we're gonna end up because
Interesting.
we're not gonna end up top four
You could.
unless everybody on that above us just starts
People start.
playing bad, and I don't see that. I can see
Right.
3 to 4 teams playing bad, starting to
You're
play
right.
bad towards the end, but not everyone. Like
Got it.
not
Yeah.
everyone. So that's the main focus to me, and we just gotta like if that style of play that we have, we just need to score, man. Like we have this talent, and it's like I don't even want to get on that either.
So
Like
so I'm expecting a high scoring game from this game, right?
Yep.
yeah,
Because when I see, like I said, Chelsea have the best attack in the league this season, and Tottenham attack a lot as well, right? I'm expecting Tottenham to score. And as you pointed out, Charles, your defense is not necessarily one of the best. Those guys back there are very young.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to come to that, Charles, and ask you a question. So against Southampton, Maresca rotated a lot,
Yeah.
right? He brought in what you've been calling your European team,
Makes you.
right?
Yeah.
Seven changes in that starting lineup. He brought in Jorgensen, who's been your cup keeper. He
Yep.
brought in Disasi, I mean,
But
changes all over the
at
pitch.
some point,
Badeshil came in.
yep,
Joao Felix started. Sancho started.
yep.
He benched Neto. He benched Jackson. And Nkunku started. So was that a look ahead to this Spurs game, or? And I think you guys are dealing with injuries as well. I think Fofana is out at the moment, right? You've lost
Yes,
Fofana.
yes.
So is that a precursor, to Spurs, and he's looking to, give some players a break to
Mm-hmm.
be ready for Spurs, saying, okay, the midweek team, this is the midweek team, so to speak, right? So he's brought
Yep.
in midweek players. Is that kind of the mindset, or is this a chance, to bring some of these players now into the Premier League team?
It's kind of a mixture of both because Joao Felix, for instance, had started the previous Premier League game, I think 2 games ago. So he's been talking about playing Joao Felix and Cole Palmer together. So some people are being brought in slowly, but slowly. On the other hand, he did bench some players because of this is the midweek team, like you said. The likes of Jackson.
Okay.
Jackson didn't get to play, didn't even come off the bench,
Right.
because he needs that rest. And I think it wasn't only Maresca that did that. Every club did that. I mean, Son did not start today for you guys, so
Correct.
that midweek period. I mean, this period we were
It's a
playing.
bit different, though. I think Song, correct me if I'm wrong, Reuben. I think Angie is trying to manage his minutes, is what I've noticed from Son.
Oh, for sure.
Because
That
he's been
too.
out for a while, and even the few games he started, he hasn't played 90 minutes.
True.
Yeah.
They come off before the end of the game. So I think Angie is maybe trying to manage his minutes so that he's getting playing time, but they're slowly easing him back into the rigors
Back into it.
of the team.
Yeah, that's true. But for us, yeah, it is a mixture of both. Like you said, this is the midweek team. Normally, if it was conference, they could have played a whole different 11. But because
Okay.
he didn't play a whole different 11, he only changed 7 players, which is still a lot. But yeah, he's looking forward to Spurs because he made a joke or statement, which is a joke to me. He said before the Southampton game, he said, Southampton, this game is the toughest game we are playing. I'm like, come on, you're playing the bottom team league. It's definitely not the toughest. I think it was actually preparing the team for Spurs. Spurs really is the toughest game we're going to play, in the short period of time. If you look at our difficulty rating on FPL, Spurs is the only red colored or close to red. Everybody else is green for the next couple of weeks. So, so that really, to answer your question, yeah, that is more of the focus. The rest of those players, we were all surprised in my Chelsea fan group chat. We were all surprised Palmer played for so long, So, yeah, so he did rest a lot of players, 7 changes mainly because of that. Injuries are not really as bad right now because aside from Fofana, everybody else is fit. Everybody who should be starting is fit. So
I mean, you have 40 other options, so
we have what? We have lots
so
of
the other options.
Yeah. We have like 3 teams, like Biodun would say. But yeah, I think the real focus is for Spurs game. Yeah, I think that game is going to be very high scoring, like you said.
So should we expect the regular starting 11 then? Sanchez
Yes,
back in goal, Jackson back up front.
Yes. The only change I think maybe if anybody's going to play during the midweek, maybe Joao Felix. Joao Felix, because he's been saying, like I said, he's been trying to integrate Joao Felix and Palmer to play together. So there's a possibility that may happen. It may not happen. It's a 50-50 chance, but expect the main starting lineup, yes.
Okay. And is Lavia out injured? Because Lavia has been out.
No. Lavia played the last game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was just rotated in midweek as well.
Yeah, he's just rotating. Yeah.
Okay. Because it was Caicedo and Fernandez, right?
This week.
Cole Palmer, right? Cole Palmer playing in the 10 role.
And the game before that, he started Lavia in right back in the inverted row.
Caicedo, you mean?
Caicedo in the right back in the inverted row with Lavia in the middle. So he is doing some Pep-like rotations, right? If I want to put it that way. He's
right.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see who starts in the weekend, but especially the starting lineup. Yeah, the regular starting lineup.
Okay. And Reuben, for you, can you give me what you think the starting lineup will look like? Does Son come back into the team? Is that maybe a look towards this Chelsea team game as well? What does the starting lineup look like for Spurs?
I feel like it's not be the same as we've been trying to use. I feel like what you said, like they haven't let Son play into what the longest he's played into the 60th minute, 67th. The first time it happened, everyone was like,
yeah,
what?
I think.
Like, But I feel like if like what I'm sure teams everyone wants to compete. Nobody wants to just give away anything.
Yeah.
But if they're thinking of reserving him more for the actual title that they can actually win, and like they're easing him up. I would like to see right now, like I said, since it's a Premier League game, I would like to see a little bit of like maybe not him. I want to see them try it differently. So he started and then left early.
Right.
Maybe finish the game, like start later, come in as a sub, and finish the game. But I don't see that happening. I see them just
Yeah.
taking them out early. So same lineup
Okay.
as usual. I mean, we don't have much, like the Odevert. He's
Right.
injured
So
too, and I would like to
Son,
see him in.
Solanke,
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski, I want to say that man, that man is like
He's a beast.
He
he's
stepped
a
it up
beast.
again this season. I
He
think
stepped
he's
it up. They
improved even
changed
more
up
this
his
season.
position, and he stepped it up. Because some players don't do that. Some players you
Mhm.
change up their position, and either they are bust,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
just stay the same. Nothing
Yeah.
changes. But this man
He plays
has
out of
like
the midfield three now, right?
I see him touch the ball. Yeah, I see him touch the ball
So
now. I'm like something positive can happen.
what happened though was Madison has come into the team, right? So I've
Yeah,
seen Madison now playing in the 10 role and Kulusevski is now
yeah,
back out on the right.
no, for sure. And it took a while to get there because at
Right.
first when Madison came in, that wasn't the role, right? So they
Right.
had to play around a little bit. But I don't think, like you said, high scoring game. I can see that. We just have to score because we get there a lot.
Yeah.
Like they said it with
Yeah.
like, and you brought up the Manchester City, Charles. There it was more of them, and I agree. They have been in a slum, so we should have even scored maybe 6 because how much we attacked,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and we
Mm-hmm.
just like every time. I'm one of those fans. Werner, when he touches the ball, I'm like, bro, he's about to give the ball up. I was actually excited when he came into the team. He wasn't that good with Chelsea. I was
Yeah.
like, but that's Chelsea because Chelsea wasn't where they at right
They
now.
were struggling then, right?
Yeah, so I was like, he's gonna come in and he's gonna show what he should have done with Chelsea.
Mm.
And disappointing.
I'm
Richarlison
gonna
always injured. I
on
love
games
Richarlison actually, always injured.
Yeah.
So
if you don't
they're
mind.
gonna stick with the same as they usually do. And what I wish was that they do the opposite with Son, bring him in, give the younger guys like Mikey Moore a little bit of more facing a big team like Chelsea, probably gives him more confidence too. But
Trust-
and then or put in Werner to begin with and then take him out, bring Son, and he can make a difference. And he doesn't expose him too much.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna stay the same.
Reuben, you
Okay.
mentioned Werner when he was at Chelsea. So there's some players that I'm very critical about. Players which I call all speed, no brain.
Mhm.
I'm not saying Werner has no brain. Don't get me wrong. My apology if it sounded that way. But what I'm saying is there's some players. Look at the old Theo Walcott of Arsenal, who are just about the speed, and then their end product, the likes of Adama Traore, for instance, of currently of Fulham, formerly
Walcott
of.
had end product though, but you can go ahead.
Sorry,
Walcott had end product.
who?
Theo Walcott.
No, I said Theo Walcott.
Yeah. We're
Nah.
talking about the same player.
Not
Go
as
ahead.
much.
Go ahead.
Not as
Go
much. Now he's the better one on the list, but Werner is a speed demon, like they call them. They are very fast.
Mhm.
When they get to the end, there's not much to do. And they forget what they're. Sometimes they run beyond the ball. And I've always said this: those players are not the best in the EPL. And just I've noticed over the years. We have a player right now, which Arsenal fans are glad we stole from them. Who asked,
That's
and
the
now
bullet.
problem. We have Chelsea fans right now in my group chat who argue about all the time. Mykhailo Modric or Mykhailo Modric, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Modric. I think Modric belongs in a smaller team like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, whatever, or in a different league. Werner was tearing up the Bundesliga before he joined Chelsea and even after he left. I think he should have stayed there because there's some leagues that are just set up for speed stars, but Bundesliga seems to be one of them. Most of their teams play high line, so you take out in the EPL. Once they figure you out, that's it. So I think Werner, I don't think he's going to last long with Spurs. When he came, I was happy for him also. I thought he was going to do
Oh no,
something.
I think he's
I think
unknown,
he's
right?
gone after this year.
Yeah, he's
he's
on
on
loan.
loan and he's not signing again.
Yeah, he's still on those. I don't think they're going to make it permanent because, in
No,
my opinion,
because
speed stars don't do well in the EPL. He
when
needs to
they
go.
grabbed him, it was supposed to be that. It was supposed to be get him, option to buy. Option to buy went out the window already. Wait,
Like,
like
strike that out.
like like Felix. We're gonna talk about Chelsea. Like Joan, when he was in Barcelona, he came in that 1 year.
Yeah.
Man, how good he played. I get it. Barcelona's trying to bring up the younger players
Yeah.
out there, and they're doing good with that. But
Yeah.
I felt like we should have kept him. We didn't. And I say we because I am a Barcelona fan too. I grew up that's in El Salvador. That's main two teams. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Manchester United, um, Bayern Munich, and Leverkusen actually. So
Mm,
so it was like you were either one of the other. I didn't become a
got it.
Spurs fan until I moved to the US. I didn't have a team in the Premier League when I lived in El Salvador because all you heard was and all they aired was Manchester United games. So I saw Ronaldo like crushing it with Rooney, like all the Van der Sar, like in the as a goal. I became a Tottenham fan because of a American soccer player that ended up getting bought by Tottenham, and I was like,
Okay.
Clint Dempsey,
Dempsey?
Dempsey,
Dempsey,
yeah.
That's
Dempsey.
right.
But yeah, but I agree with you. Like, there's some players that I think Timo, it's in his head. You
Yeah.
see it when he's running with the ball, all speed. He's running full speed, one on one with the goalkeeper, and he forgets which leg am I left foot or on right, and then catch up to him and either block it or he just misses wildly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same for
So
Modric. Same for Modric. Yeah.
cool. Great session, you guys. So let's go into predictions. I want to get you guys, so based on everything we've talked about, I think you guys gave me some predictions earlier, but I think we've had some discussion now. Maybe some of that has had some time to marinate in. So give me your thoughts, your predictions on this game, and then we'll jump into the other games, ahead of the weekend. So Reuben, give me your thoughts based on what we've talked about. Attacking Spurs, slightly weakened defense. How do you think Spurs fare in this game, and what's your scoreline prediction?
Okay, so I don't focus much on Chelsea. I'll take from Charles' words. Their defense does look weak, and if we can on these opportunities, because we're gonna have a lot of opportunities, if we can score, and then everything after what the two of you said, thinking it
Mhm.
over about, and then me bringing up the whole Manchester City, and then Charles bringing up it was more on them. I started thinking about, yes, they've been losing, and I can see that, but with the defense that you guys have, my prediction, a high scoring game for sure. But I can't go against my team
Fair.
and say that we're gonna lose because I have confidence because we show up when we least expect it. When
Right.
the fans we're like, man, I'm done with this season, and all of a sudden we get that
Boom.
little, like I told you, like that comparison I made about the NFL team, like they give us that little bit of hope, and then but by from my heart, I see 4-3 us winning,
Jesus.
Okay.
high scoring game. I if
Wow.
I would like to see that just because
Yeah.
of I love Premier League goals are the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
They don't just
Yeah.
happen I don't want to get into that because then this will be an hour for my
It's a
predictions. But
whole
no,
other segment.
yes, for 4-3, 4-3 us
4-3.
Wow.
on top, or a 3-3,
High scoring draw.
a
Okay.
hard scoring draw.
Charles,
I know
over
you're
to you.
surprised.
Give me
Yeah,
your numbers.
high scoring game, but I didn't think it was gonna be that high. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna score for sure. I also don't know how many,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna give you credit and say you're gonna score one because, like I said, our defense is not as bad as yours. I mean, you guys have a makeshift defense in Dragoshin and the great played today on the right back position. I don't know who played center back along with Dragoshin or who's gonna play center back along with Dragoshin.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 3-1 victory because our defense, like I said, is not as bad, and Chelsea's attack is still, in my opinion, more solid.
Okay.
So I'll say 3-1 Chelsea.
Okay. We'll jump into the other games now, but I'm gonna give you guys an interesting start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Chelsea and Spurs have both actually considered the same amount of goals so far this season.
Interesting.
You've both considered 15 goals.
But
So
hey, Chelsea
marinate on that.
but Chelsea is scoring more. That's why we're higher on the table. So seems like my
So
3-1 prediction plays out.
28 for Spurs, 31 for Chelsea.
Chelsea. Fair.
So
Fair.
that's the difference. It's not that much. It's three
Not that
goals,
much.
but I think the difference have been in the games, right? You guys have managed to get more points, whereas I think Spurs tend to score a lot in some games and then they collapse in some games. So that's where we're at. All right, let's jump into the rest of the fixtures for this season, and I'm going to pardon me here. I'm going to bring up the fixture list.
Hey, we're still
So
top 10. Let's go.
we're starting off the weekend with the Liverpool derby, and I'll take your
Merseyside derby,
prediction for
like they say.
what's that?
As a Merseyside derby, like they say.
Yeah, Merseyside derby. So give me your thoughts on this, Charles. Your scoreline prediction: Everton Liverpool. It's at Goodison Park.
Man, this may be the easiest one to predict. 3-0 Liverpool. I mean, Everton won
Okay.
their last game, and I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
little confidence, but not the way Liverpool is playing right now. Yeah, they messed up
Yeah.
against Newcastle, but I think they're going to come back and really, really deal with Everton. So 3-0 Liverpool win.
Yeah, I can see that. Everton played a struggling Wolves side, so I was
Yeah.
surprised by the 4-0 score, but I expect Liverpool to take this as well. All right, Reuben, over to you. Villa against Southampton. What are your thoughts? Scoreline prediction.
Depends which village shows up. Because you can see them like I could see them like top 3 at some point, and some point I'm like they're good where they're at in the table, but I
Yep,
give them the edge.
they're struggling at the moment. They're down
Yeah,
at eighth now.
they're down
So
at
yeah,
eighth, and they were what top 4 at one point.
Yeah.
yep.
But I gotta give it to I say 2-1 Villa on Southampton.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I expect Villa to win this game as well. Even though they're struggling, Southampton have just been poor this season, and I don't
Yep.
see it getting better. They play very exciting football, but
They
at
do.
the back they just concede some very silly
Silly,
mistakes.
stupid
Very
goal.
silly mistakes. Yeah, silly
Yeah.
goals. All right, tough one. Brentford, Newcastle, or maybe not so tough for you, Charles. What's your scoreline prediction on this one?
It is actually tough. I actually think this is going to be a high scoring game, almost as high as
Okay.
It's gonna be a
Reuben
fun one.
said. For
Yeah.
Chelsea Spurs, but I think it's going to be a draw, a 3-3 draw. I think
Wow.
Brentford, they kind of messed up in their last game. They started figuring it out at the end of the game. Newcastle, on the other hand, what they did against Liverpool was very impressive. But
Yeah.
I don't see them not conceding. So I think as long as Mbomo and Wisa wake up like they've been in some games ago, I think this game is a scoring game. So I'm thinking a 3-3 draw.
Yeah. And I haven't watched Brentford lately. Did something change? I'm just diving into this a little bit. Did
Yeah.
something change with Brentford? Because it seems like Mbeumo is playing maybe a more withdrawn role,
Yep.
whereas
Yep.
Wissa is now the striker, right? So I think when Wissa was out, Mbeumo started the season as the main striker. But I think since
Yep.
Wissa has come in, at first it seemed like they were playing a 4-4-2. But I think Mbeumo is now withdrawn. Is that the case?
Something else changed after that. So when Mbomo was
Okay.
withdrawn, Wisa was up front. But now
Right.
Shada is back.
Ah,
After he scored,
okay.
so now Wisa and Mbomo are withdrawn. Shada
Okay.
scored I don't know how to pronounce it, Shada or Shade, whatever.
Yeah, Kevin Shatter. It's Shatter.
He had a 4-game thriller, and then he's been started up front. So I think that
Okay.
withdrawal weakens Wisa and Mbomo, and then they're not getting as effective
The
as
same chances.
exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, the coach is
Interesting.
saying that and maybe bench Shade for the next game and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Over to you, Ruben. Crystal Palace against Man City.
Right.
So
So
Man City have been struggling. They finally broke the winless
the winless streak,
streak
yeah.
Yeah.
And
and
I feel like
won.
that's over. I
Yeah.
feel like that winless streak is over. If Liverpool,
Okay.
Arsenal, and Chelsea don't just win out, hey, we haven't seen them this bad,
Yeah.
City, but we've seen them at a
In
point where you're
never.
like, oh, the team that's on top right now, Arsenal, got it, and all of a sudden they flip that switch, and
Citizen.
Yep.
because
Mm.
to me, like,
So you think the switch has flipped on now?
I feel like I have to see them again. I got them winning this one, but struggling.
Okay.
But
Okay.
struggling with the win. I say 2-0.
Okay.
Struggling, but
Okay.
I have to watch it. Like I'm gonna be focused on this one too, because I want to
Okay.
see it myself.
Right.
Like I'm like the last 3 games, I'm like, they're gonna lose. Like I saw like so I'm not really like I wasn't really paying too much attention to them, aside from the
Okay.
Spurs game with against them. But I saw this last one, saw something saw them better.
Yeah.
So depending, I want to see that consistency. I want to see two good games back to back for me to say they're back.
They're truly
But
back. Okay.
that losing streak, I think, is over. They might, they'll lose another game here or there, but they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna lose back
Which
to back to
What's
back.
this one?
Like
Okay.
how they just
Anymore.
did. So 2-0,
Gotcha.
2-0.
Okay. Charles, since he was on here last time out, very
Yep.
bullish.
Yep.
That didn't go so well against Arsenal, but now they're coming up against Forest. Does Amorim's project continue on successfully from here on out,
Yeah.
or did we just hit a blip?
No, I think they'll be fine. Even against Arsenal, I saw glimpses of hope. Let's put it that way. I think
Mm,
Amorim knows something. He knows what he's doing. He has a style. The players
right.
haven't figured it out yet. I spoke to a Man
Mm.
U fan friend of mine who called the players lazy. That they are
Mm.
too lazy to effect Amorim's style, and Amorim's style
Mm.
may not yield the results he wants until he brings in his own players. So,
Okay.
but against Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest are flying reasonably high because they are high on the table right now where nobody predicted they would be. But I think Man U is going to sneakily take this. Maybe, yeah. Nottingham Forest is number 7. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So they've been losing though, right? They
Yeah,
were doing really good, but you can see they have 3 losses here in
yeah.
their last
I was
5.
about to talk about that. So
Right.
considering there's a weakness there that Man U can exploit, and Man U is flying high. Don't get me wrong. Against Arsenal, because Arsenal is just flying higher. That's why
Right.
Arsenal beat them. But I think Man U is flying high right now. Nottingham Forest not so much. I'll give them a 2-1 win for Man U.
Okay.
So meaning it's not going to be easy, but they're going to get the results.
Okay. Over to you, Reuben. Fulham against Arsenal.
Man, as a Spurs fan, like you want Arsenal to lose, but I got them winning, man. Like they're playing great. They're playing great football, and it sucks. Like like other not. Hopefully, you have no Spurs viewers that are gonna be like, man, how is he saying something nice about Arsenal? But I'm taking my fandom out of it when talking about the fixtures. So I
Right.
got
Neutral
them,
prediction
but
here.
Fulham's not doing too bad. I mean, they're doing better
Fulham's
than the
playing well.
Spurs.
Yeah.
They're in the
Yeah.
top. They're in the top 10. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I got Arsenal winning.
That's
Uh,
Fulham today. They
Number
Fulham
won
6.
their
they
game
won.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Against
have them.
Brighton, which Brighton is right above them. So that's an impressive win.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Brighton is not playing that bad. I mean, they shouldn't have let
Yeah.
go of McAllister, but that's for another. Uh, or he should have gone to the Spurs. No, but I got Arsenal starting off slow but winning 3-1.
Okay.
Starting losing 1-0, but then
Okay.
changing it
So
up
they
and
concede first, but they'll win 3-1. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Over to you, Charles. Ipswich, Bournemouth.
Yeah, Ipswich, Bournemouth, Ipswich. I'm not fully convinced with Ipswich yet.
Mm.
I feel like they are slowly beginning to show themselves as a relegated team or team just be newly promoted team, which may go back to relegation. I don't know. I'm just talking. But
Right.
with what I saw from Bournemouth today, I think Bournemouth is definitely going to take this. I actually think the only thing going for Ipswich, 2 things going for Ipswich is their coach and their striker. And because that's just 2 people out of a team of 12, 11 players, or 11 players
Mm.
plus coach, I think they need more people to step up in that team. So I would say definitely Bournemouth aren't doing too much, but they play well as a team. Everybody does the job and they get it done. Although they waste a lot of chances. Like I said, they could have beaten Spurs like 5-0 today.
Yeah.
They weren't clinical enough. But against Ipswich, I think they'll get the job done. Could be 1-0, could be 2-0, something easy like that. But I think they'll deal with Ipswich. 3 points for
Okay.
Bournemouth.
Okay. Back to you, Reuben. Leicester against Brighton.
I got Brighton. Like I'm gonna be quick with this one. Brighton's gonna have it. I got them. It's not be boring game.
So
I
Van Nistelrooy's
1-0.
resurrection dies quickly.
I got it 1-0.
I
1-0.
disagree. I disagree.
You think there's gonna be exciting one?
The Brighton I saw today, there's a weakness in there. And I mean, I know Welbeck did not play, so they weren't as clinical up front, but I don't think Nistelrooy's resurrection, whatever way you want to call it, dies yet.
I mean,
I'm predicting a draw for this game just because I think Brighton aren't finishing as much as they should be finishing, and they're not that good at. They're not bad at the back, but they could be better.
but that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be. I don't think. I think Leicester has like their like lose, draw, win, lose. Like I don't see them like. It's like that's
Putting
how
in a
it's been
string of
looking for
wins.
them.
But
So
that's
it's
not
like
Leicester though. This is Leicester I was talking about. It's they still have the new coach bounce, and I think they're gonna get a result from this. Could be a draw, but they'll get some points.
okay.
Okay.
I still
We'll
see a
see.
1-0.
Okay, Reuben is sticking to his 1-0. All right, we've
I
already talked that.
again.
Yeah, we've talked at length about
Tottenham's
Spurs
gonna win
Chelsea.
that one. We
So
already said that. Yeah.
last game of the weekend, and I'll give you, since Charles jumped in on that one, I'll give you both the opportunity to tell me your thoughts on West Ham against Wolves on Monday.
Who's going first? I'll take it.
Go ahead, Charles.
Take it.
Yeah, because Reuben took the last one first.
Wolves. You said Wolves are struggling. But they showed a sign recently that they may be able to do something, but then they slumped again. So I'll give it a West Ham win.
Cunha convinced a lot of us. A lot of people brought him into the FPL teams, but then they went ahead and lost 4-0 to Everton. So,
So I'm giving it to West Ham. It may not be a high scoring game, but I'm giving it to West Ham.
Okay, Reuben.
I got West Ham as well. I don't see West Ham losing 3 straight. They already lost 2. And I consider them when the season started. I thought they were gonna do more. So, but still, Wolves are struggling even more. They're struggling more than my teams. So, but I got West Ham winning. And if you need a score, it's just 2-1.
Yeah, that's my line too. 2-1.
I'm going to jump in and say I think Wolves actually win this game because I think West Ham are just playing bad at the moment. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the players have lost faith in Lopetegui, but something seems very off at West Ham.
Yeah.
So,
but
that's my thought.
Wolves seem to be playing when they're not playing good.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Wolves win.
I wouldn't.
I'll say that.
You know what? I'll say 2-1. But I wouldn't put it to anybody. Someone gets 2, someone gets 1. That's what
it'll be 2-1. You just wouldn't put it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They've both lost their last 2 games.
Yeah.
West Ham have lost their last 2. Wolves have lost their last 2 as well.
Yeah, they don't want to go. None of them want to go 3 in a row.
But West Ham is above them on the table.
Goals conceded, 27 goals conceded. Both leaking goals. Wolves have scored more goals though. They're just leaking terribly at the back.
Yeah, that's
36 goals is a lot in 14 games.
That's a lot in 14 games.
That's a lot.
I could do that in FIFA, but that's it.
Almost 3 goals every game.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Well, it's been amazing having you on here with us for the first time, Reuben. Hopefully, we'll have you back for other games in the future.
I said I'm always down for sure.
All right,
nice.
Because it gets me to let it all out, right? So like, I have to go into work. I can't talk football because nobody watches. I can talk NFL because at least some of the girls sit with their husbands and watch some of what
the game.
But I talk about football. They're like, "Oh, NFL, like football? No, that's not football.
Not that football."
They hate it that I call, like everyone knows. I call it American football and football. It's like, wait, what?
As you should.
That's what it is.
But
for those of us who watch football,
it's great to be here. I told you I was disappointed I couldn't do it last time.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
And I was actually guys a question before we go. So I recently started my own stuff but it's more on the nerdy side of things.
Okay.
But like if y'all don't mind me grabbing a clip from this to share on mine,
Oh yeah.
like, hey, shout out to for inviting me. I had fun because I had fun, and
Awesome.
just give you
Awesome.
guys a little shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that would be
you.
But I
great.
wanted
That
to
would be
ask
great.
y'all first because I will grab it from the YouTube when you guys upload it.
No
Most
problem.
definitely. Most definitely. And if you stayed with us to the end, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And we'll also definitely let you know Reuben's channel so you can tune in and catch him somewhere else as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All right.
you.